Mostafa does not have trial for 2.5 years. Every time Mostafa goes in front of a judge, the prosecutor gets up and does her dance. The investigator said in the police report that Mostafa stated he was arguing inside the vehicle. She's muddying up the water. By the time you get to trial, then you can play the dash camera, then you can play the evidence. But to this day, the prosecutor, Commonwealth Amy Ashworth, is refusing to put the evidence on the record. It's been 2.5 years and we can't subpoena and examine the SD card in Mostafa's dash camera. The police department says there's an audio, but we can't hire an independent expert to get to the bottom of it. We can't reconstruct the vehicle accident. What's the mystery here? Why are they so terrified? They're terrified because the minute you put the evidence on the record, it's going to show that they've lied. Let's continue listening to the conversation.
Somewhere in Springfield, that's what she told me, but I'm not sure. But she said she drove that direction, and then she drove to like the opposite direction, and then she called me. I was just parked. I'm like, okay, smoking a cigarette. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I love this girl, and I didn't want to leave, but I was really upset at the fact that I was in the loop of like I'm next to the person that she was talking about in that place. And then I forgave her and I said, okay, I'll stay. And then the day of the accident, where I woke up in the afternoon, and then it was like an argument back and forth relating to that. So it was just back and forth about that same stuff, the guy next door. And I've never talked to him before until that night after I got the kids over to the neighbor. I want to make sure they're okay. That's when I saw him face to face, and he was caring, he was looking out for the kids.
So you're telling me the foundation of this case, the prosecutor wants to claim that Mostafa was arguing inside the vehicle, that he drove into oncoming traffic because he's angry over an ex-boyfriend he doesn't even know, that when you listen to the tape, he has nothing but nice things to say about this guy that he doesn't even know. He said, after I woke up from a coma, after I was released from the hospital, when I was at the apartment checking on the kids, I ran into this guy. I didn't even know he was the ex-boyfriend. He's a nice guy. He looked like he wanted to help. Because at the time Mostafa was asking, they wouldn't update him on 5-year-old Empress. And there was this random guy he doesn't even recognize. He doesn't even know. He's never met this ex-boyfriend. But the prosecutor wants to tell you that Mostafa did this on purpose. Crashed a vehicle over someone he doesn't even know. There's a body cam of the ex-boyfriend when he's questioned by the police. He says, Mostafa doesn't know me. The ex-boyfriend say Mostafa doesn't know him. Mostafa says, I don't know the guy. He has nothing but nice things to say about the ex-boyfriend. But the whole entire case is built on investigator falsified Mostafa's statement. He says, Mostafa told me I was arguing inside the vehicle, and they build a whole entire case over an ex-boyfriend that Mostafa doesn't even know. And then when you listen to what Mostafa's talking about, he says, I met Dorothy. She was living in her van with 5 kids in between hotels. They get an apartment. And then he later found out that he's in an apartment where the ex-boyfriend is in the same complex. He asks her, he tells her, why are we in the same complex with the ex-boyfriend? And then he finds out that it's just a lease. She's signed onto this lease. It's already signed. There is nothing there. And everything is good. The prosecutor wants to take that, put it inside the vehicle, falsify the police report, and tell you this whole entire thing where a boyfriend and a girlfriend talks about a situation There's nothing there. She loves him. He loves her. Happened like a couple of days ago, a conversation about an ex-boyfriend. Why is he in the same complex? There's nothing there. Everything is perfect. The investigator takes that, puts it inside the vehicle. And he wants to say, you told me you had an argument over an ex-boyfriend inside the vehicle. And then you watch the dash camera, you see there is no argument. That Mostafa did everything he can to avoid a vehicle accident. And then you open the Google Nest videos. There's a Google Nest video inside the apartment that shows it's a beautiful relationship. We're going to get into the Google Nest on the next podcast, but I want to finish this portion. And on the next podcast, we're going to dive in the Google Nest video, and we're going to come back to this audio. We're going to dissect this audio. We're going to dissect the supplement report that conveniently Internal Affairs gave the investigator that falsified the police report this audio. And he can get to say, I can't hear the audio. So I'm going to rewrite the supplement, rewrite the report, and say, he told me he was arguing inside the vehicle. Conveniently, he can't hear the audio, so it's the same reports. So the prosecutor can continue to say Mostafa told the investigator he was arguing inside the vehicle, even though Mostafa never said that.
But I don't remember like us arguing in the car. I don't remember any of that. I don't remember arguing. We were good. She sent me like some amount to like put gas in the car.